One of the biggest problems with Season 8 starts before Season 8. In Episode 1, Jon Snow and Dany Targany hang out at a cave, and all I could think was, this was so much better the first time.
We swore some vows. I want you to break them.
In my opinion, their love, quote unquote, is extremely undercooked for two reasons. One is that they haven't spent enough time together. The second is I don't get why they're in love, and I think there's an easy way to fix this. Jon Snow has the chronic problem of not wanting authority, but always ending up with it, and in the books, Daenerys has similar thoughts. She daydreams about when she was a kid at the house with the red door, and fantasizes about having a carefree life. All you would really need is one scene where they talk about that, and their relationship could make sense, but that scene never happens. I already mentioned this in my spoiler-free review of Episode 1, but I have to reiterate that the writing is terrible.
The dead march south.
Wheelchair boy Riley tells everyone that they don't have time for this shit, and everyone ignores him. We can all agree that Bran is a retard, but he is a retard with powers, so I feel like you should listen to him. And shout out to Tyrion for doing that in Episode 2, even though it didn't end up mattering at all. To continue with Episode 1 though, taking Year on ship, this was way too easy. It should have been a tense stealth scene, but they treated it like a speed run.
Look at the fucking pace!
Jon Snow riding a dragon also should have been a cool moment, but it just sort of happens. George Lucas was apparently on set when this pointless CGI scene was filmed, and I don't know about you, but I am shocked. To be positive for a second, I thought Sam telling Jon that he was Aegon was a somewhat well done scene, and I like the ending as well. Let's move on to Episode 2.
The big woman's still here?
I feel like you could actually edit out a lot of 1 and a little of 2, and then what's left could be merged into a pretty good episode. You could start the entire season off with Jaime's trial and make it longer with more twists and turns. At the end, Daenerys could lose her temper and try to execute him. Then Bran could step up and save his life. It gives Bran more of an active role in the trial, and Dany losing her temper could add a tiny bit of ammo to the whole Mad Queen plotline, which we'll get into a lot more later, unfortunately. Other than that though, I enjoyed the episode, and Brienne getting knighted was pretty good. Time for the third part. Nothing makes sense, but this scene is particularly stupid because Jorah's never even met Melisandre. An undead army is about to attack, and Charmander comes out of nowhere to say,
"Tell them to lift their swords."
Then he blindly obeys and says, it's fucking retarded and a sign of horrible things to come. That being said, I don't want to be too negative, so I will say that they nailed the lighting. Continuing with my pristine positivity, the battle tactics are spectacular, with my favorite part being when Daenerys lands her dragon. Her killing multiple whites with a sword inspired me, especially since she's never used the sword before. It really is proof that women can do anything, as long as horrible men don't hold them back. Then, on Game of Thrones, the show that became famous for killing characters, they kill almost no characters. And the one character that does die didn't need to. Theon could have waited like 2 minutes and been fine. I've seen people say it was a heroic sacrifice, but if I run in front of a bus and go flying across the Arby's parking lot, that just makes me a dead retard. Then there's Melisandre again, who is always 100% sure of everything until she's completely wrong. She tells Arya B up, X up, D up, then Arya gleefully jogs off with Beric Dondarrion's corpse in the background. And honestly, the last few minutes felt like a joke. Jon screams at a dragon, Arya teleports behind the Night King, Melisandre dies for no reason, and as much as I hated all that, hearing D&D talk about it was worse.
We hope to kind of avoid the expected, and Jon Snow has always been the hero, the one who's been the savior, but it just didn't seem right to us for this moment.
This whole meme that subverting people's expectations automatically equals good needs to die a fiery death. If I tell my bald wife I'm going out to get her ice cream, then cut my own head off with a chainsaw, I have, in fact, subverted her expectations. I'll still be fucking dead though. Weeks later, I remain shocked that one episode managed to undo so many years of build-up, but it's okay. I'm sure episode 4 will be good.
While Dany kind of forgot about the Iron Fleet and Euron's forces, they certainly haven't forgotten about her.
The writing is remarkably terrible. Again, they get their own character's name wrong, and then there's this.
You were married before Sansa.
Drink. Tysha, Tyrion's first wife, being casually brought up sucks, as in the books and the better seasons, that's a tragic part of his backstory. Basically, Tyrion fell in love with a lady named Tysha, and Tywin found out about it. He then ordered Jaime to tell Tyrion that she was a whore that had been ordered to sleep with him, and she didn't really love him at all. Then, because it's Tywin, he had her gang raped. The twist, of course, is that she was not a whore, and she did genuinely love Tyrion. Jaime tells Tyrion this in A Storm of Swords when he saves him, and it completely ruins their friendship. But in the show, Jaime never tells him. I realize this is book and not show lore, but they brought it up and laughed about it, so I think it's a fair point of criticism. And in case you were wondering, Bran does still have Down syndrome.
I don't really want anymore.
Gendry asking Arya to marry him managed to enter so bad it's entertaining territory, a bit like another franchise Jorah was in. Before I get into the depressing Daenerys stuff, I want to take a happy break and show some things I actually liked in episodes 2, 3, and 4.
I'm here again. My heart is broken. Don't touch me.
Samwell Tarly, slayer of White Walkers, lover of ladies. As if we needed any more signs the world was ending.
Now that we've had a moment to relax, let's keep shitting on everything. I've disliked Dany in the past, even roasting her in my episode 2 video, pun intended, but their suspicion towards her at this point is completely unwarranted. I'm bored, so I'm going to try to make it warranted. During Jaime's trial, have her get angry like I said, then have her do something reckless in episode 3 as well. Since all he does is hang out with Sansa, let's kill this man. Guy Man says, Lady Sansa, I want to defend your honor on the front lines. The battle starts and Dany is understandably emotional because of this.
Aegon Targaryen.
She starts carelessly shooting fire at the whites and accidentally roasts Guy Man and a few other dudes. Sansa sees this and she goes, wow, she's an asshole. I sure wish my brother was secretly a Targaryen and an heir to the throne. Keep in mind, I'm not saying these things would make her insane. I'm saying they would partially justify characters wondering about her mental state. Concerning the actual story, going in to get rid of Cersei as quickly as possible is the humane approach, or at least it would have been had Dany not gone full Makarov. I'm not mad at this part because the memes have been worth it. Euron also could have pushed forward just a little bit and killed everybody that washed up on the beach, but kind of like season 7 where Jaime almost drowns in a puddle, then escapes, there's no continuity between scenes. And finally, there's the epic, long-awaited face-off. It's fine, I'm sure Cersei just kind of forgot that she wanted to kill Tyrion. Let's move on to the well-developed episode 5.
What?
Just like episode 3 ruined the White Walkers, episode 5 ruined Daenerys Targaryen. What annoys me the most is how unnecessary it was. It'd be different if she had to kill some innocent people to take out the Golden Company, but they basically get one-shotted. And if that wasn't enough, Harry Strickland runs like a coward. But the character assassination does not stop there. Varys acts like a moron, then Jaime says this shit.
Never really cared much for them.
At first I tried to write it off as a joke, but I don't think it's a joke or a lie. D&D just had to ruin him before he died. My favorite character in the books and the show got killed by rocks. Arya actually acting like a person was nice, but I can't really appreciate it because she did a 180 in one scene.
Thank you.
Then, after years of hype and some excellent content, we get Clegane Bowl.
Dumb bitch.
It was fine. I like that they fell into the fire, but I wish Sandor had conquered his fear and knowingly used fire to kill the mountain. As it stands, I'm not even sure if he pushed him into it on purpose or if he just wanted to knock him out of the tower. The fight also had too many cuts, and I think it should have been a 1v1 in the throne room with everything burning around them. Moving on, the ballistas might be the most inconsistent thing I've ever seen. It was OP last episode, and now it can't do anything. To take a break from bitching, I will say that I did like the score at the beginning. It did a great job building the tension before the horribly one-sided battle. Emilia Clarke has gotten shit for her acting for many years, but she nailed it here, and Daenerys actually does look tormented. Throughout this video, I've tried to do small rewrites to justify things, and I got a few more. Let's pretend the dragon Euron no-scope is still alive. The beginning of the episode should have been a nail-biting battle between Dany and Cersei's forces. During the battle, Dany flies to where Cersei is and tries to take her out with the two dragons. Rhaegar is taken out instead, and Daenerys retreats. We cut back to the fight, and during the corners is a 1v1 between Harry Strickland and Jon Snow. Jon is wounded but kills Harry, then the Golden Company puts their weapons down. The Lannisters are forced to see this and surrender as well, and the day is won. The Northmen cheer for Jon Snow, and it's a very happy moment. We go back to Dany, who once again sees how much everyone likes Jon more than her. Then, due to a combination of that, her dragon dying, Jorah dying, Missandei dying, and Jon not wanting her, she has a little bit of a meltdown. At the very end of the episode, Tyrion confronts her and she realizes what she did. And that's it for episode 5. The only solace to take from this train wreck is that Bobby B was correct.
Did we send her a wedding gift?
Knife, perhaps a good sharp one.
It's fitting that this season ends with a potato on the throne.
Why do you think I came all this way?
I'm biased, but I think this scene would be much more tragic if Dany had in fact had a psychotic break and had since snapped out of it. Then the scene could be Daenerys pleading with Jon that she made a mistake, and Jon deciding if he could take the risk of her doing it again. Another alternative could be she snaps out of it when Kit Harington stabs her, and she reflects on what she did in her last moments. But instead she tries to justify a massacre with the worst logic possible.
She used their innocence as a weapon against me.
And Jon isn't much better. He goes from I love Daenerys to fuck that fire bitch in 5 minutes, and Kit Harington's acting doesn't exactly sell the scene. He stabs her then looks shocked that she died. Afterwards there should have been a bloodbath, but instead everybody just kind of moves on. Daenerys didn't even get any last words. She's the main character who was introduced in season 1 episode 1, and she went out like a red shirt in season 7. Anyway, after all that, Edmure finally makes his triumphant return.
I don't understand.
Please sit.
Then we get about 95 endings that are all fucking retarded. If I had to rate season 8, I'd give it 2 fuck D&Ds out of 79 water bottles. Like most things, the show started off really great and ended really badly. I remember how hype I was watching this fight.
Have they told you who I am?
And when a certain young lady tripped. Those days are gone, but life goes on. Before we know it, the next great show will be here, and hopefully it stays great this time. Until then, I'm going back to shitting on Netflix movies. Take it away, Grey Worm.
Fuck all that, I just wanna be happy. Swimming against the current, am I wrong? Can you show me a warrant? Honestly, I'm a barring, I'm on it, I get it, I've got it. I wanna be 10 again, just me and Sonic.
And that's when I took David's cock out of my mouth.
There are no better writers in television than Dan Weiss and David Benioff.